Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Console Gaming League. I am Joker's Ransom. He is Bullskunk, and we are here for the Stage 1 finals of the EU PC Open tier.
Yep, Joker spitting facts. All those things are actually true. Verified. We've got Whiteboy Primal taking on Grillmasters here for our grand final of our mid-season tournament here in season 12. This is gonna be a banger, I'm telling y'all. These two played each other week 1. That one went all the way to map 5. And well, those are the only maps that either of these two teams have dropped in the entirety of the first half of this season. We're to each other. This is feeling like a rivalry in the making, Joker.
Yeah, definitely. And both of these teams looking to find better results against both of these two teams. Obviously, one team wants to keep them from getting a map win, in Grillmasters, and then obviously Whiteboy Primal want to come back in with the victory, revenge that first round or first week loss, and get that extra match win going into the regular season finals down the road.
Yeah, in case you hadn't, the Grillmasters ended up taking that 5-map banger in week 1. So they're coming in with a perfect record. They're a 4-0 coming into this against the defending champs of Whiteboy Primal, who won the EU Open last season in season 11, and have basically kept the same roster coming in. So two very strong teams, a lot of competitive experience between these two squads. Both of these teams have players that have been competing across EU Open Division and contenders for quite some time now. So this one is going to be awesome, y'all. I can't wait to get into this. Let's take a look at some rosters. Let's pull up. Let's see who's going to be on the battlefield today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first team here. Whiteboy Primal. Very interesting logo. But hey, this team is almost incredible. Fully contenders roster at the moment with Sacha and Gucci on the DPS role. Crew manning the tank line, and Alippi and Captain Prash on that support line. I'm excited to see what Alippi can do with Yulari.
Yeah, it's almost serendipitous the way that worked out. At least the alliteration of Alippi and Yari. I like that. A lot of experience, like I said. Captain Prash, another one. Your duo in that support role. Played for Team India, or is playing for Team India in World Cup. That's a team I would have loved to have seen in November, but that's okay. They were always fun to watch, and Captain Prash is an absolute all-star. It's going to be a really good backline and a big part of why this team is so successful. Let's take a look at their opponents as, every one of these players we've seen in EU contenders. A lot of them playing for sheer cold at one time or another.
Yeah, Will and Exodal on that DPS line. Ice Gnome, and interestingly, getting the start here over Erekek, but obviously Erekek more known for that Winston gameplay, and that's not really what we're seeing right now in the meta. And then Straybor and Yoham on the support line.
Yep, it's gonna be a good mix. And I like to touch on that. We're talking about the meta right now. And we had that patch coming through on Thursday where we got, a bit of a buff to Zarya's projected bubble, bit of a nerf to Orisa overall. And really, it's put Junker Queen into a wonderful spot. We did actually see some Zarya leading up to this in the round 1 and round 2 of these playoffs. We saw quite a bit of Zarya, so I'm curious to see if that carries through, or if our teams have kind of settled into this new patch now that we've had a few days to kind of check it out and get a vibe for what's really going to be strong. I think this match is going to be really indicative for what we might see going forward.
Yeah, I casted the NA Council or NA PC finals yesterday for the open tier, and they came out with Zarya on the Flashpoint map, which worked so well going into that, really turned the tide of the fight for YSL. So if we can continue to seeing that as a Zarya player myself, I'd love seeing Zarya in the meta and love seeing them Zarya getting gameplay. But again, Junker Queen also still shows very good signs of being viable in this, and still Orisa, the ever reliable at the moment, even though you said they did get some nerfs into them. Still, with the backline of Yulari and Baptiste being so beneficial, Orisa's still getting gameplay.
Yeah, and another thing to note on the JQ, you're talking about Junker Queen, you know, still being viable. She got a buff to that Jagged Blade. So
Yeah.
they added 15 damage to the impact of the Jagged Blade. That hit some breakpoints and made JQ far more deadly because you've crossed this threshold where you can take down a 225 hit point target with a Jagged Blade and a Carnage, or you can take down a 200 hit point target with just a Jagged Blade, primary fire, and a melee. Like, you got 2 different one-hit combos now just from that added 15 damage. Of course, we got our maps on our screen here. Fixed map here for map number 1. That would be Busan, obviously.
Yeah, Busan going to be coming out here for this first map, and well, it really is indicative of what we're probably going to see and where we start out on. We could see more of that Orisa-based compositions going on. If we go to Mecha base, then really wherever we go, like here, we could go to Junker Queen with it just to be a little bit more open. But right now, I mean, we still have 20 seconds for Grillmasters to really change things up, but Ice on Doomfist currently.
Gucci, you're here? All right, Gucci picked character. Gucci's here.
Okay.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Is running as Gucci on the Bastion, like you were talking about. They're just going to be able to set up, get a lot of damage going, but both these two teams vying for position here on the point. Ice Gnome super low right now, going to get that healing in, but still, it's so hard for them to push in, Grillmasters to push in to this composition without really any way to mitigate that damage that's coming out from them at the moment. And finally, Crew comes in, takes Will out of the fight, and Whiteboy Primal look to start the hold off on Busan.
Really well done from Whiteboy Primal. Slow and steady. As they made their way onto the point, get Ice Gnome very low, and then Ice Gnome just has to hide. And Crow is free to wander off and start getting kills in the back line. It was slow and steady from Whiteboy Primal, and well rewarded there with this first control. And they've already got an Ant Matrix to work with. Particularly if Grillmasters want to try to go through this outside, you're going to be greeted with double damage. So it looks like Grillmasters going to go loop the other way. And Whiteboy Primal going to set up in drum and just wait for him.
Well, on the other side, Exodal has this tactical visor already available as well, but Olympia's going to be using that Ant Matrix early on, and Ice is just going to be blown up immediately. Tactical visor coming in from Exodal, trying to turn it around, crashes out of the fight, but that's all they're going to find. That grenade still tuned up, finding 2 as Whiteboy Primal continue to hold on.
Yeah, Exodio plus attack visor, they're already down 2. Yoham's already out of the fight. You have just Lucio healing. It was a desperate play and difficult to get through 2 Zarya bubbles with attack visor. So Exodio's gonna make a swap going on over to the Sojourn. See if they can match Sasha, who is very close to the overclock. And it's gonna make it even more difficult for Grillmasters to get on the point. Ice Gnome all the way to the back line. Yoham's gonna greet him with the Fox.
Well, there comes the Kitsune rush out, and, well, trades are going to come in. Sound barrier coming in from Captain Prash, though, allowing Whiteboy Primal to stabilize a little bit more. Now with the artillery strikes coming in, trying to clean off Yoham, but able to get away with that teleportability, and but still stay going down in the end. And Whiteboy Primal have come with a vengeance, looking so much better right now to start things off.
There's just nowhere for to use that sound barrier. That's what happened, Joker. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then they're going to be able to use that Graviton Surge to clean up the fight if
Easy peasy if
necessary.
there's not a sound barrier there.
Yeah, of course. And it does look like our internet's our producer's internet is dying, but still, right now, Whiteboy Primal still have the upper hand. They did lose the point for a little bit of time, but in the end, they were able to stabilize through a lot of ultimates coming in from Grillmasters. They're still trying to do Ice Gnome, trying with their Meteor Strike to come back into this fight, but still Whiteboy Primal in the end taking the fight and, well, trying to clean things up and take round 1 of Busan.
Immediately pop back, and my ESP is proven wrong, as there was lots of overhealth there for Grillmasters the moment we returned, but unfortunately, that sound barrier was no match for the overwhelming damage coming out of Bastion. And Grillmasters had no answer to this Zarya Bastion comp. They were not able to get in with the dive and find any kind of opening. So I don't anticipate Whiteboy Primal really going to change, even though we're headed now into Mecha Base. I almost called it Control Center. Like, wait, that's on Lijiang. We're not even in the right country. But yes, headed into Mecha Base. I don't anticipate Whiteboy Primal really need to change anything. It's going to be Grillmasters who look to be making the swaps to match. Are they even going to mirror entirely? No, it's going to be a difference with the Mei from Will versus Sasha on that Sojourn. So walls are going to be the primary utility here for Grillmasters. Let's see if they can cut off. There you go.
Drew already out of this fight, as that is huge, and that should be Grillmasters taking that first fight here, Bill Skunk.
Nicely done. It wasn't even the wall that did it. It was just a nice icicle from Will. Find that first kill. Wall comes up after it. Oh man, holding this top choke. This is a wonderful position for Grillmasters to be in, and this Mei could get rewarded repeatedly.
As now they have to rotate into something for rotate into the Grillmasters composition and deal with that Mei wall, but it's going to come out early on with Crow swapping over to the JQ, trying to change something up here. And Exodal goes down kind of low. Still, none of these teams have found a pick, but there it goes. Ice Gnome out of the fight. Captain Crash taking down the Zarya. Now, Whiteboy Primal can come into things, look to get the point back into their favor as Sacha and Gucci take down 2.
Yeah, I think at that point it was just him and Strebber like, all right, this fight's done. Everybody regroup, just run in front of the Bastion. We did have Will holding on to this point. Got over 40% there for Grillmasters. Not too shabby. Meanwhile, Sasha has swapped over to a Symmetra. So really good for locking this down. And you can see Whiteboy Primal are scrambling. They do make it up to hold this top door. And Grillmasters just have to back away.
Yeah, they are going to attempt, Grillmasters is going to attempt with Artillery Strike to come back into this, and they find a Lippy out after they both use, both Vaps use their Amp Matrix in this fight. But it looks like Grillmasters are going to be able to come out up on the upper hand and still save this Blizzard for the next fight.
Yeah, Whiteboy Primal did not catch that rotation in time. And it was a good artillery strike there from Exodial just before the Ant Matrix was thrown down. And Grillmasters decisively using those 2 ultimates to buy a lot of space and get themselves back in control. Now with the Blizzard to work with, artillery strike from Gucci coming out on the other side.
Yeah, Gucci coming in, and they're not going to be able to find anything with that artillery strike. Now the Blizzard coming through, the Photon Bear trying to keep up Crow for the time being. They do, they get through as well with that sound barrier to come through, and they're not going to be able to find the picks coming in from Ice Gnome's Graviton Surge. Still, oh, maybe I just spoke a little bit too soon. Ice Gnome finds 2. They get, Rampage does come through, still waiting to see who comes out on this fight, and it is going to be Grillmasters yet again.
Oh, that one was down and dirty. That was down to the wire. I mean, we had both the Photon Barrier and the Sound Barrier used early from Whiteboy Primal. I thought they were done skiing. That Graviton Surge was going to end them, but they managed to live through that. And it gets real messy. Now it's an overtime, and it's very messy indeed. As we have a Wrecking Ball here to touch Tracer as well. Whiteboy Primal in pure desperation mode, Joker.
Yeah, if they can find a pick though, Strayborg is kind of separated and is going to go down to Sacha now. Sacha is going to get blown up immediately by the Bastion, however, but still, Whiteboy Primal have this currently in the bag. If they continue to get these picks, they're already up, but Gucci going down is not what you wanted to see. Now with the artillery strike, looking to clean up the point in favor of Grillmasters as Exodal comes alive at the perfect time for Grillmasters as they take round number 2.
Yeah, just not enough resources left from Whiteboy Primal. They had spent everything in the previous fight. If they had an ultimate or something to work with there at the end, maybe they could have pulled out a miracle. It made it closer than they probably had any business doing, but Still, Grillmasters able to tie us up here on Busan, send us downtown. We are deciding sub-map, and what are you doing, Crow? You gonna go back to that Zarya? Icenom came out and won the Zarya matchup there on Mecha Base. Crow is the one making swaps, now showing us a Diva. I don't know about this one. There we go. Okay, the JQ is a little bit better. That's more what I expected to see. Still, Crow needs to play around these bubbles and create enough space for Sasha to get the work done. Exodial was certainly superior Bastion there in round 2.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to figure it out here for Whiteboy Primal. We've got their the momentum's flipped into the favor of Grillmasters for the time being. But hey, the rotation coming in from Grillmasters to the top of the theater here, and well, it's gonna work out for them. Gucci goes down as Exodal is the true high ground character at the moment for Grillmasters. With the rotation now coming in, and you can't have to take the fight on two fronts. You have to take a look at Exodal. And while the meanwhile, Grillmasters are able to take the first fight and take the point. But in the end, still, it might not be enough for Grillmasters to keep a hold on, especially with Exodal going down. Now, Whiteboy Primal can take this aggressive front onto the point, take the point back, and now rush into the remaining members of Grillmasters.
Ooh! No way!
How do they stay alive? But are they going to be able to get out is the real question.
No way.
And they do. How does Grillmaster stay alive in that as Willam so low, but still alive?
I mean, and now Exodial is back in this fight, and Grillmasters are immediately prepared to teleport right back into the damn Matrix.
Right, going right in, Amp Matrix, not really getting the value you would have hoped for, but the copy is doing wonders for Whiteboy Primal. Gucci goes wild, and that is going to be the fight yet again, going for Whiteboy Primal.
My goodness, there's a lot to unpack there. Holy cow. Crazy little preparation dance to start all that off. Teleportation comes out as a big do-si-do around the point. Grillmasters get completely separated. They have two people. They retreated in opposite directions. It looked very broken. And somehow the teleport comes out from Will to create that scenario. Yet on their retake, it's the duplicate from Gucci. And now, here we go again. Right back up top. Swing your partner. It's time to dance.
Well, it's going to work out for them, for Grillmasters. Yoham finds a Lippy out. Ultimates, though, being invested by Whiteboy Primal there, and it's working out. Nope, never mind. It's Grillmasters are coming back in from with two picks of their own as Will finds Prash and Exodal cleans out Crow, and that is Grillmasters taking back the point.
I mean, you didn't really think it was going to be that easy, Whiteboy Primal, did you? It was Will, but this time with that photon bearer, big difference maker. Grillmasters very disciplined on that attack. Could have been very easy for them to overspin in that scenario. Ice Gnome holds on to this Graviton Surge, the big one. And, well, some good discipline here means that Grillmasters could have the tools to take this all the way if they don't spend everything in this fight. Whiteboy Primal want to take their time and get this Rampage online, see if they can muscle through, take Straymore down before the Sound Barrier can win the game, or win the fight.
Yeah, they've got to take out that Lucio immediate, but the early Graviton Surge comes in, but they lose Yoham in the midst of that all. The Artillery Strike coming back in response, and still, it's anyone's point at the moment, but Whiteboy Primal are getting on the advantage, and they're going to find all the picks they need.
Oh, man. Not only did Grillmasters lose the fight, but they spend 2 of their 3 ultimates as well. That could not have gone any better for Whiteboy Primal. They get the 3 ultimates online they were waiting for. Didn't have to use a single one. All now here, as they just need to defend this point one last time. And Whiteboy Primal will take this opening map.
Yeah, they've got this opportunity to just use this Amp Matrix to come in, and well, Crow's gonna find a pick with their Rampage, and that's all but over here. Grillmasters only have Ice Gnome left as the Artillery Strike in celebration for Whiteboy Primal taking map number 1.
Now let's talk about taking Strimmer down before the Sound Barrier was able to have a big impact. The other alternative is just kill 3 before the Sound Barrier can even come out. That works. Barrier only gets 2. It is late and decisive victory from Whiteboy Primal. And it goes back to that second to last fight where they're able to win with no ultimates versus 3. Beautiful immortality field from Yoham to survive that Graviton surge, and that was a real turning point there in map 1. Well done, Whiteboy Primal, coming out strong.
Yeah, they are definitely here to get the revenge against that week 1 matchup here, Bull Skunk, as it's showing out to start off. They did. It was still pretty close on map number 2, which they did lose, or round number 2 of Busan. Fully in control is Whiteboy Primal at the moment. We have to see where Grillmasters take us into for our hybrid map. There is only 4 options. That is Eichenwald, Hollywood, or Kings Row, or Midtown.
Yep, Grillmasters have Kings Row listed as their favorite hybrid map. We'll see if that comes to fruition here. Of course, that favorite map is going to change depending on the meta and what you're feeling is strong at the time. So, I mean, Grillmasters were doing pretty good with that, with the Zarya. Do they want to keep that up? I mean, do they want to continue to try to force the Zarya issue, or do we see a swap? I think where they take us will give us some hints as to what they want to play.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. I've been seeing a lot of Midtown this mid-season playoffs. So that's where I'm currently thinking we go. But again, it is all up in the air, especially with that that mid-season change coming in, changing the whole dynamic of everything. But Midtown still plays itself well to Junker Queen. It plays itself well to Zarya. It can play itself well to Orisa if you really want to continue running those 3 heroes. And that's what I expect to see. But again, this is EMEA, so Kings Row is always possible.
Well, and Brawl comps rule supreme, right? I mean, it was the home of Brawl. They do it best. Chosen the Overwatch leagues, we still see it have an impact there with London Spitfire, and I mean, there's reason for that. So that is why Kings Row is the favorite. It is the classic Brawl map, so it would feel appropriate, Joker, to go to Kings. It would feel like going home. You know, nice warm, comfy blanket. That is Kings Row.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still just waiting for that pick to come in. I did see some trolling go in from those chats saying to go to Dust 2, but that's a completely different game. So we are, however, going to go into Kings Row.
This is true. Yeah, pick is Kings. Grillmasters, going by the script. So thank you for that. Now the question is, what are we expecting here? Does Grillmasters stick with the Zarya heading into this and try to make that work, or do we change things up? Or perhaps pull out the Orisa despite the slight nerf? I mean, could still work, but I mean, we're gonna get in each other's faces here. I think this is gonna be a JQ matchup, Joker. That's what I'm anticipating.
I'd have to agree. JQ or Zarya, really, depending on how you want to play it, but. It is going to probably be up close and personal. That's what we know EMEA for, and that's probably what we are going to see, as we are going to get to look at the defensive play, and Grillmasters sticking with the JQ.
Bastion Sim kind of pulling up the Dallas Fuel comp here on us, which means it's all about positioning. And the Symmetra is the crux of this entire composition. If Whiteboy Primal can find the Symmetra, it completely eliminates the mobility out of this comp. And it just kind of falls apart from there. So this is going to be all about, can Grillmasters keep Will alive and moving Exodial around the map into the best position and avoid the close quarters combat coming out of Crow in this jungle corner.
Yeah, we shall see. Satcha, however, going to be locking the Widowmaker to at least start out here, looking for an opening pick, it would seem, but still locking it for the time being. But the rotation is coming in, forcing them back, but the teleporter coming in right on top of Whiteboy Primal. They were definitely not expecting that. Still, no picks coming through for Grillmasters in that immediate phase. Still looking for more as it is going to be hard now for both of these teams to push in, as both Bastions looking to set up, looking for the pick, and it's going to be Exodal going down early on, as now Whiteboy Primal can rotate to the point. Now they've got this defensive positioning. Grillmasters looking like the attackers here now. They've got to be able to get the touch as teleport comes in, try to get there in the end, as Gucci goes down, but Salcha finds a pick in the end. Still looking good for Whiteboy Primal. Commanding shouts coming out from both the two Junker Queens, but this duel on the point seems to be going the way of Grillmasters now, with the respawns coming back.
Yeah, like I said, the Symmetra is the crux of this composition. Whiteboy Primal went for the Bastion. They got the Bastion. They're getting Zodiel out of the fight. It's not enough. Grillmasters still have the teleporter. They're still able to move around. They're able to get Ice Gnome in that good position to get on point and stay alive, avoid the damage, and inflict massive amounts of damage. On the other side, Whiteboy Primal sticking with this Widowmaker, also sticking with this Ayari. This Ayari doesn't really work with this composition. I think you're going to need the speed, but perhaps that extra damage might come in handy. But with the early kill on Sasha, this one's already looking done.
Yeah, it really is. Investing the sound barrier is Grillmasters, though. They did get the rotation, and the Rampage going to be invested as well, too. They might... it was to clean up the point, but now they don't have these ultimates for this next fight that's coming in.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a miscommunication there. I mean, you didn't need the Ant Matrix and the Rampage. That was definitely an overinvestment. So we'll see if that one comes back to haunt Grillmasters. They're definitely having a conversation right now in their comms about it. I have zero doubts. But here, focusing on this next fight, finally getting some changes. There is the Lucio that I've been begging for. Sasha going over to a Reaper as well.
Yeah, getting close and personal is going to be huge. The artillery strike coming in. It's going to take out Gucci before they can take out Exodal. Rampage in response, though. It still looks like Grillmasters have the upper hand with the photon barrier, splitting the point in half and taking the fight. And no ultimates on the board for either of these teams for one of these last couple fights.
You know what, my ESP may be a little on the fritz, but Exodial has got the telepathy down. What a beautiful placement on that artillery. Just predicting the rotation and getting the early pick. All clean up from there. Grillmasters have gotten this clock down to less than a minute, Joker.
Yeah, they have indeed. Gucci's going to be able to build up to this artillery strike, and if they can find any picks, well, they might not even need it. 2 picks already coming in for Whiteboy Primal, and that should be that. They only have to get that remaining 33%, and, well, that's going to be quite simple with a team kill coming in.
I think that Whiteboy Primal destroyed the teleporter. I think only Will made it through, and Yoam and Exodial get caught out and don't make the rotation. I'm not positive on that, Joker, but I'm fairly confident that's what just happened. And there's, you know, early pick on the Yoam, that's a good one. Yeah, you get the BAP out of there, and Sustain noticeably lacking, of course. So Whiteboy Primal finally able to get the job done, but 238, not a whole lot of time to push through this extensive streets phase. Defense could get 2 if 3 fights here, despite having to give up the arch early. There's just so much space for the defense to work with here. Oh, what a teleporter.
Teleporter coming in, the Rampage coming in from Ice Gnome, locking 4 with the bleed effect, but still, it's anyone's point at the moment, but losing Crow right there is going to clean it up. With the Death Blossom, though, being invested, trying to change it. Maybe the swap coming in from Sacha here, but the team kill comes in from Grillmasters.
I feel like Ice Gnome was just like feeding off the Death Blossom. I mean, just walked into it, got closer, was like yelling in Reaper's face, just yelling right back. Oh, that was fantastic. It was a beautiful Rampage. You know, turns out not being able to heal really devastating for your squad. And despite the early advantage for Whiteboy Primal, Ice Gnome able to at least fend him off, and it kind of turned into a bit of a neutral here. Now, Zodiel can open things up with an artillery strike as Grillmasters want to take this point back. They got double support ults to work with as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Whiteboy Primal to push into this, and Matrix already being invested in. Well, Grillmasters are going to be taking the fight off the back of it, and they don't even need to invest anything else, keeping that sound barrier for the next fight.
And it's a good thing they did too, because Crow is going to have a rampage, and Sound Barrier is your best tool to help survive that until the anti-heal fades away. Captain Prash also coming in with the Sound Barrier of their own, so Striper is going to have a bit of a difficult decision. Do you answer the Sound Barrier from the other side? Because Whiteboy Primal are set up. If they can get Striper's Sound Barrier out with the Rampage, there it is! Captain Prash could win this with this extra Sound Barrier.
They only get 2 with the Rampage, though. They've got to figure it out, and, well, it's not looking good for Whiteboy Primal as us all Grillmasters in the kill feed cleaning house. Yoham, looks like they're stealing some kills there from Will, but in the end, it doesn't matter who get the kills. Grillmasters still stay out on top.
Yeah, flowchart broke down. Striper's able to get double value. That Sound Barrier basically countered the Rampage and the Sound Barrier of Captain Prash. Grillmasters, I mean, they are getting 2-for-1 deals. It's BOGO time here for Grillmasters. 15 seconds on the clock. This would be a heck of a stop if they can do it here. Rampage!
The Rampage from the back of the teleporter just set themselves up for victory, stopping them in the midst of the street phase. They were not even able to get any value from the Blizzard towards Whiteboy Primal. And in the end, Grillmasters hold on to Bookstore.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty. That was awesome. A teleporting Rampage. I want to see more of that. That was pretty indicative of just about how this entire defense went for Grillmasters. Had an answer for everything, using the teleporter beautifully. Definitely been studying some of those Dallas Fuel strats and getting creative and aggressive with that symmetric teleporter, and that's exactly how you play this comp. I love it, and I don't expect it to change. Let's see what we can do on their defense, as they're going to have to put up one heck of a hold here, Joker. That cart did not make it very far into the streets.
Yeah, they still, however, do get the a good defensive positioning if they do, unfortunately, lose out that first point. They've got the opportunity to hold at that archway, but again, you would have loved to have at least gotten it close to the end of point 2. So as now Whiteboy Primal coming in and, well, changing the entire composition. Didn't really work out for them in their attacking phase. They're gonna be going back to what really worked well last week with Bastion, or the Bastion Sojourn and the Orisa composition.
Yeah, Whiteboy Primal are going to a straight poke comp. The problem with the vulnerable part of this composition is the backline and speed. If Grillmasters can speed onto that backline of Olympian Captain Prash, it could be in real trouble.
Yeah, as now the fight comes in, as the teleporters are going to come out from Will, but they are going to get forced off back to the low ground. Exodal, well, they're still going to be able to get back to the point thanks to the handy-dandy stairs there, but Exodal goes down early on. And now Whiteboy Primal can get really into the face of the remaining players of Grillmasters as they're looking to hold out this fight. Nice disruptor shot coming in, slowing people down for the time being, and Whiteboy Primal are looking strong for this first fight, but the respawns are coming back, and Crow is so low right now, but they are going to be able to get the healing from Olympian Captain Brash, staying alive. Still, no one's really come out on top just yet, as Exodal has to hold on, though.
Grillmasters, we're lucky to get out of that one alive. Here we go. Same thing. They teleport back up to the high ground, see if they have any better luck with it. The grenade from Gucci really just tore him apart last time. You can see another one hurled up into the window of Exodial.
As Exodial trying to get into a position to teleport, coming into the hotel there, but they're met with Gucci, who is already there with their tank configuration. And no one goes down either for Whiteboy Primal. Things are looking good for now. There's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds, though, on the board.
Crow and Gucci are playing really, really aggressive with this Orisa Bastion, and I absolutely love it. It's keeping Grillmasters from being able to get through the ranks and into the backline. Whiteboy Primal know their vulnerabilities, and Crow and Gucci are doing a wonderful job of building the suit of armor in front of them. They need to keep that up. Looks like Grillmaster's going to go low this time. Ooh, teleporting up into the window. They've run out the supports.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the supports, but the teleporter was broken, and Will goes down to the artillery strike. There's still an opportunity, though, to find a pick, but Ice Gnome goes down before they can really get any value with that Carnage, as Whiteboy Primal have said, hey, we saw your hold right now, we're gonna match you.
Yeah, I can't help it. Phil Captain Prash was a bait up there. Like, that was perfectly played for Whiteboy Primal. Prash just gets out of the window in a moment's notice. Artillery strike up in a tiny room. What a play. What a play out of Whiteboy Primal. And now holding with a lot, including that Captive Sun, combined with the Terror Surge. This could be an easy wombo combo from Whiteboy Primal.
It could. There comes the Captive Sun coming out from a Lippy, and it's going to be into that room. They've got it onto Exodal, as they just got to get that extra bit of damage to get that kill coming through. The overclock comes through from Sacho. The Rampage is there. It's going to find two, but the Terror Surge finds Exodal. I love this fight. They're finally finding picks, though. Storyboard is able to get Gucci and Prash out of this fight, and now Grillmasters have the opportunity to come back into this. Lippy has found Yoham, so the respawns could come back and hold on, as they're going to try to touch. Crow gets there into the end. This Photon Bear splits the point. The artillery strike coming in at the perfect time. And Lippy is gone. Grillmasters have a new lease on life if they get the touch. No, they get the touch. Crow goes down. Can they get the touch again? Still, Sakta comes in. Find two picks. What is going on? Flash is there, but no, it's not enough. Grillmasters are able to capture the first point.
Oh, and Ice Gnome is finally able to breathe for the first time in like a minute. Oh, the teleport strike finally works out. Ice Gnome is able to get it in the back with that Rampage. Finds 2 or 3 with that. Gets the Immortality filled out and still manages to find the picks. Sasha almost brought that back. If Grillmasters had not killed Crow as quickly as they did on that retake, that would have gone south really quickly. Good focus fire from Grillmasters. And now, what was looking pretty desperate, suddenly, remember friends, that box of victory is right here around the bookstore.
Yeah, as they do have this artillery strike, does Whiteboy Primal to come back into things here. They aren't going to get really any good damage from it, but still, they've got the opportunity to come through. They're trying to build up to this Captive Sun, which would be massive for this fight. Lippy's so close, but again, you've got to worry about this as the Kitsune Rush now coming in. The damage is going to be magnified, and Gucci goes down. Can they get this Captive Sun up before they lose Crow? The Captive Sun comes out, but Crow goes down, and that's going to be that. Grillmasters take the map.
That is gonna tie us up as we get a CP9? Ice Gnome, what is a CP9? I don't know. 9 CP? That sounds dangerous. Anyway.
Captain Prash C9?
A Captain Prash 9? Hey, alright. I like it. I like it. The mental warfare coming out from Grillmasters as they take their map pick of King's Row. There it is. That was such an embodied moment right there. I love it. Ice Gnome just in the face of Gucci on the Reaper. It just raw. I will absorb your death, Blossom. That was Grillmasters' map right there, just personified in a 3-second clip. Just that right there. Beautiful. And I mean, the Yari, the Captive Sun. The only thing I wanted to add on to that. 2 Captive Suns there, neither really got the value that they wanted. For what we're thinking can be such a devastating ultimate, Grillmasters are able to almost completely nullify.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did not really have the follow-up after Crow did go down there. So that's why I was hoping, that's why they were definitely hoping for Crow to stay alive and to get that follow-up from the Captive Sun, because you need to get that extra damage onto them so they explode, the sun in them explodes, and that was just not possible without Crow on the battlefield. And in the end, the series is tied up 1-1. We are going to head to a short little break before map number 3. Do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss more of the EU PC Open Stage 1 Finals. All right, everyone, welcome back. It is time for map number 3, and it is time for our new game mode. We are headed into Flashpoint here.
Yeah, making its debut here in the mid-season tournament in the CGL. I mean, Flashpoint, this is all about rotations and movement. The battle for the point, very quick. Each tick is like, what, 0.8 of a second or something. So you don't get a whole lot of team fights per, which means whoever gets first control has a major advantage, which means the movement and the rotations to get to these objectives is of prime importance in this game.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we're seeing a lot of Lucio Rush coming in from either of these two teams. We've seen a lot of Doomfists as well. It's like you said, you need to get to the point quickly, and you need to be able to keep the point, because it's only about 2, maybe 3 team fights if you're lucky with that third one.
If you have a close spawn.
Yeah. But yeah, it is very difficult to come into that and take back the series. We are headed to the only real map that we see on Flashpoint at the moment, with Saravasa being the definitive number 1 choice for most teams.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen a bit of VJC, but yeah, both of these teams had Saravasa listed. This is no surprise, and definitely in this tourney we have seen more of this one than we have of Australia. But I mean, it's a beautiful. I mean, just look at that! Yeah. Look at that beautiful view from our observers. That is gorgeous. This may be the most aesthetically beautiful map in Overwatch to date. That's cool. Who is that?
Yeah,
future character? Huh?
Maybe. You know what I just realized? Like, a week ago. I
What'd you
was
just
watching.
realize, Jeff,
I
a
was
week ago?
I was watching a match on Numbani, and there was the Sigma. There was a Sigma store or something there. I had no idea that was on Numbani.
Oh yeah. That's been there since day one.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. The ticker is also updated over the years, which is kind of cool. All right, here we go. First point always in the middle. We start things off on Mark. We are getting mirrored compositions from both sides. Really no surprises as both teams are just going to stick with what is kind of the meta at the moment. It is a fast and furious first fight.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage coming out from both of these two teams, but it looks like Whiteboy Primal have the upper hand finally. So they're looking to take out Will, and Will goes down. The teleport to the point there. They're so close to going into the favor of Grillmasters, but in the end, Whiteboy Primal are able to get the picks necessary and take the first flashpoint.
I honestly can't tell you what was the difference maker. I felt like we just took two watermelons and threw them at each other to see which one exploded. Like that was such a brutal first fight. Whiteboy Primal come out with 4 players still alive. So big props. I mean, Olympic clearly got a lot of work done, but same is true for the other side. We'll get dueling ant matrices here in this next fight. Ooh, teleport gets immediately destroyed.
That's huge. Gotta be on the lookout for those teleporters as an ice bomb comes in from Strayborn, takes out Gucci early on, and that's gonna be the go sign for Grillmasters. They now can push in without the fear of the damage of the Bastion, and are able to take the point.
Yeah, and Olympi doesn't even get that Ant Matrix up in that one. Got 75% in the first fight, barely got 20 there in the second one, and actually disengages the wrong direction from the rest of the team, which means Olympi's not able to continue to pour healing into Crow and the rest of the team. Furthermore, just gets separated and caught out, easily picked off. So, bit of a disengagement error there from Whiteboy Primal, cost him that objective, but have some tools coming back in to work with. Ant Matrix here to start things off.
And finding Zodiel out of the fight already is huge. The Ant Matrix was invested, but Yoham's down as well. As Whiteboy Primal come back, they do lose the percentage in favor of Grillmasters, but not by much, and get it back into their favor.
Yeah, no one can hold on to this point. Defense teams, the first team to play some defense is going to win this point. Could win this map, depending on how the rest of this goes. Grillmasters coming back in to try to re-engage. I mean, it was Whiteboy Primal able to pull the trigger first in that last fight. Grillmasters need to be more aggressive here. Let's see where they put this teleport. It's right onto the point.
The Photon Barrier comes in, but it's destroyed immediately. The rotation is here. They're on the point, getting some capture percentage. There's the artillery strike, and Will goes down. No more teleporters available, but the respawns. The rampage is there, but still, it's anyone's point. No one's found an upper hand just quite yet. But Ice Gnome going down is huge, but still, there's still picks coming into the favor of Grillmasters. They're not able to find anything just yet, but they're able to set up on point as Whiteboy Primal and take the point back thanks to the sentry turrets of Sacha.
Oh, that was close. That was ridiculously close. Tit for tat on both sides. With the sound barriers were beautiful from both teams. The rampage from Crow was the difference maker when it was all said and done. Just got a little bit more value. Was a little bit later in the back end of the fight. And it's Whiteboy Primal who were able to get the 2 kills on the back of that. Man, that one went 99-99. This is going to be one heck of a map here, Joker. Grillmasters are second onto this point, and they have nothing to take it with. They'll be running into an Ant Matrix from Whiteboy Primal.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Grillmasters, and Sacha finds the pick out on the Yohama as well. They might not even need the Ant Matrix, as they've already found Exodial as well, and they're going to be able to hold on to that ultimate for the next fight.
Wow, I love it. Very clean, flawless. Yeah, 2 with the carnage there. That's a feel-good moment there for Crow.
Definitely is. Now, well, like I said, they still have this the Ant Matrix here at Bullskunk for this next fight.
Yeah, they're able to hold that. They'll get Sound Barrier up first as well. So, Whiteboy Primal certainly in a great position. I love this positioning here. Yohan was taking the high ground. Grillmasters rotating from the left-hand side, gonna teleport. Not too far. Oh my! No!
Blown up by Gucci, who was just waiting for them. And that was just a boatload of damage. Lippy dropped the Ant Matrix right in front of their teleporter.
I mean, it's Gucci with the perfect prediction yet again. We saw it on King's Row, and there knew exactly where that teleporter was going to go. Gets the 4K, and now it's going to be an artillery strike from him here.
Yeah, and they found this. They've won that fight off the back of it. They've got that fight coming. They got that extra bit of damage. Grillmasters are going to be able to flip it, and they're going to buy a little bit more time, but it is just not going to really matter in the end. But they win that fight pretty much off the back of that artillery strike because the damage that came in, and then they're able to save the other ultimates they had built up.
Exactly. Even though Gucci didn't show up in the kill feed, they did enough work. It was just easy pickings for Crow and the rest. Grillmasters look like they're actually going to make it to the point this time. We're headed to Temple, and Grillmasters are here first for the first time on this map.
Yeah, they're going to get there first, and there's the Rampage coming in, but it's only going to find the supports, but the sound barrier is there, and they're able to stave off the aggression, and Crow going wild on the JQ there for Whiteboy Primal.
It's Prashy. Captain Prash gets to that sound barrier up first. Tremor wasn't even there. Huge difference maker. Everybody gets 600 extra shielding, perfectly timed and combined with that photon barrier. So still, like you say, Rampage at the ready here for Whiteboy Primal. And despite Grillmasters getting there first, they're not able to hold on to this point. Defense is becoming key here on Suravasa.
Well, it should be a little bit easier for Grillmasters now with the ultimate advantage, and Crow is gonna go down early on before they can really even get value from that Rampage, as they're still investing ultimates, and they haven't really found picks besides that one onto Crow. The photon barrier coming out from both sides as people are super low on the side of Whiteboy Primal, and finally gonna be able to get those picks is Grillmasters to look to rotate and get the point into their favor.
Yeah, there's Ant Matrix and artillery strike thrown in 3-8. And I think Crow's Rampage might have got. Did not see. He's on that. Could be wrong, but certainly did not get the value. As you mentioned, nothing coming over that super strong ultimate. And Whiteboy Primal just absolutely emptied their banks.
Ooh, and Lippy goes down early on. That's just, the fight's already over without, with losing Lippy, and then, well, the cleanup is there from the rest of Grillmasters.
Yeah, aggressive play there from Grillmasters, using just the sound barrier to make that happen as well. Whiteboy Primal hoping to get up to a sound barrier of their own as they make their way back onto this point.
Yeah, as the rotation comes into the back, but the Rampage is there from Ice Gnome yet again, and that's a huge one, taking everyone down to low HP, and Exodial there to clean up the kills with that Bastion, as they're going to be, Grillmasters are going to be able to take this, their first flashpoint.
And that aggressive teleporter from Grillmasters is, I mean, that is how this competition is supposed to be played. And I feel like Grillmasters are showing us a little bit better proficiency on this competition, a little bit of that understanding of how fast this comp can play. And Grillmasters are really set the tempo there on that point. They've got to win 2 more if they want to take this map. Good start.
They're setting the tempo yet again, getting the sound meter out after losing Gucci is huge for Grillmasters to keep things going in their favor. They've got the photon barrier back online, and it's going to be invested early on from Whiteboy Primal. Now they can ingress onto the point without some real deal of the damage, but the flashpoint being unlocked, and it looks like Grillmasters are going to get it first yet again, but still no picks coming in, and now Gucci back to the point, spamming that damage in, and it's working out well for Whiteboy Primal, taking down 3 and coming back strong.
Yeah, the Ant Matrix was just well placed. The teleporter from Will was on either side of it, and Grillmasters, they just couldn't find any room. They could try to buy some space on that point, but Whiteboy Primal with a well placed set of double damage window just keeps Grillmasters at bay, and finally able to disrupt this fast-paced, rapid tempo that Grillmasters are starting to put up. I'm anticipating another aggressive teleport. Grillmasters, where are you going to put this one? Uh-oh.
Artillery strike does not find as much damage as they would have hoped for. Commanding shout now coming in, but the Rampage is there. countered out by Stray Boy's beat though, but Exodial still's been found out, and it looks like yet again, no, maybe not. I was gonna say Whiteboy Primal looked to be in a good place, but they did lose Crow in the meanwhile. As Ice Dome coming in yet again, doing great stuff for Grillmasters and holding on.
I'm telling you, the Symmetra is the crux of this composition. In every fight I watch, I feel like I'm just reinforcing that fact. And we see Grillmasters are able to get the Symmetra. They get Sasha early, and despite Exodial going down first, Grillmasters are still able to dance around and get Ice Gnome into the right position. Crow doesn't get nearly enough done. Get the one kill with the Rampage, but it's just not enough. And now, here we go, running into Ice Gnome's Rampage. Here comes Whiteboy Primal back onto the point. Oh, huge. Oh my god.
Everyone there, Bull Skunk. And that is just a clean team fight win.
Floored. Wow. That was all 5 players hit with that. Immediately, everybody's health bar is below half. One of the best Rampages we have seen all tournament. That was enormous. 2-2. We're going down to one last point. It's gonna be, what is this, Palace?
Temple.
It's Temple. Oh.
Temple, the last place to come into this fight, and it's Grillmasters already getting to the point first. Artillery strikes coming in response, but no picks coming in just yet. With this photon barrier allowing Whiteboy Primal to get back to the point here and, well, hold on for the time being. Teleporter coming in, but just getting away for the time being. Sasha's solo. They've got to keep that Symmetra up for now. Well, still waiting out. The beam supercharged. Flashpoint unlocked and the sound barrier coming through. Who can find this first pick? Who can get the upper hand? And it's Sasha going down. That is massive for Grillmasters. Now they can look to move in with their own teleporter, but Gucci's still finding picks as they're able to stave off the aggression and hold on. Perhaps? No, maybe not. Still, you've been saying it all series long. Yep. Well, as long as the Symmetra's still alive, the fight's winnable, and Will said that was winnable.
That's exactly what just happened. I mean, really smart play from Grillmasters. They keep all 4 players on one side with Exodial kind of on the opposite side. So Whiteboy Primal come in, they sound barrier, they get aggressive. Grillmasters just teleport out and leave Exodial on the flank. Exodial falls. Grillmasters still just dance around him. Big Rampage once again from Ice Gnome to start off this next fight.
Ice Gnome continuing to just dominate the lobby with these Rampages as they're just going to hold that out 50% and counting. As Grillmasters look to hold on. They do only have the sound barrier, though.
Oh, this one might just be Joker. Crow ends up yeeting themselves off the map using their Rampage. Gets absolutely no one. This is Grillmasters have wrestled this back from an 0-2 and are firmly in control. Last and Matrix, no.
That's it. Unless they can find a change this pick here in some way, shape, or form. But Crow is just all alone. They are going to get the flip onto the point. They've got Sasha there, but can they do anything? They're just chasing down the Symmetra. They know that's a threat, and they take care of it immediately. Overtime bar ticking away, but it should be all but over here as Ice Domes takes out Prash, the Ant Matrix in celebration. Grillmasters take map number 3.
What a comeback. It's that third point. Grillmasters come in and completely take command of the tempo. They pulled out their own war drums and set the beat, and everybody had to go by their pace. It was Grillmasters wrestling this thing back. Wow, Suravasa started off one way and then went a completely different direction, and Grillmasters are thanking whoever they may that it did so, because that was quite the turnaround, and it's given Grillmasters championship point over Whiteboy Primal.
Yeah, and now we're headed into push here, Bull Skunk, and Whiteboy Primal have to figure it out here. Again, on one of the newer maps in the game. It's been obviously longer than Flashpoint, so these teams have a lot more practice on, say, a push game mode instead of Flashpoint.
Sure.
So it's still in the air, but again, you've got to be able to take these first couple of fights because again, still push is, I believe, still determined in the first couple of minutes of the game mode.
I've always said whoever's the first team to win 2 fights in a row has got a massive advantage in push. You're looking for back-to-back fight wins to really take control, and then you can set up and typically get the close spawns on the back of that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm expecting Esperanza here if our teams hold to what they have told us. They both have that listed as their preferred push map. So it's Whiteboy Primal's map pick. Maybe they try to change things up. Maybe they try to throw us a curveball, Joker.
That's what I'm kind of expecting because both these two teams. There's only 2 maps for Flashpoint. Both of them like Saravasa. It worked out well for Grillmasters. Again, the Grillmasters actually they do like New Queen Street, so it could be Esperanza here. So so this could be.
They changed it on me, or I wrote it down. I swear they changed it on me, Joker.
So Esperanza could be the change that Whiteboy Primal need here to get back into the fray of things. But again, that was maybe they might have filled this out when, say, Winston was more in meta. And
no, they filled this out today. I watched them do it.
Okay,
I watched them do it.
All right,
or at least make adjustments to it.
All right. So I was gonna say, if they filled this out previously, this could have been when Winston was still prominent. So still Esperanza.
You can only put so much stock in a team sheet, right?
Of course,
into a spreadsheet that the team has given us beforehand. Who knows if they're even being honest on this? Genuinely, they could let a team troll the casters. It's never been done. No one has ever done that. No. But strategy is all part of it. Middle game is all part of it. So this is it. The only thing for sure is Whiteboy Primal can decide right now which of the 3 they want to go to, depending on how they're feeling. And it could be something as simple as they lost control of this. They lost their grip on this series halfway through that Flashpoint map. Yeah. So it could be time for some different measures to try to regain that pace, to try to regain that control.
Yeah, they've got to figure it out here and now. Like you said, this is finalist point for Grillmasters here to get that extra match win going into the final playoffs, the end of season playoffs later in the season.
And that's important too, right? Because these 2 teams are, the only team to beat Whiteboy Primal in the season is Grillmasters. These 2 teams likely, from what we've seen through the first half, are our strongest 2 teams in this division. So for Grillmasters, for one of these teams to come away with an extra match point instead of just a boost to their map score, which is what's on the line here, that could be easier seeding when it goes through final playoffs. It could make your opponent's life a lot more difficult once we do get into our end of season stage. Really important map right in front of us here.
Yeah, and obviously Whiteboy Primal are taking their time trying to figure out what the correct map is. I would take my time if I was my final map as well, quite possibly. But I expect Esperanza, but I could be swayed on something like a Coliseo if they want to maybe go back to more of the Rissa that they were playing a little bit previously.
Well,
man,
we did finally get a pick. Drum roll, please.
It's New Queen Street.
There you go. Thank you, Joker.
This is a very interesting choice from Whiteboy Primal. Not what I was expecting at all, especially knowing if Grillmasters do like New Queen Street that much. Maybe they're trolling, maybe they're not. But again, it is a little bit more. It's more open than Coliseo, so they could still run more of that Junker Queen with the Symmetra and Bastion composition, probably.
That's what I'm anticipating. I think if they wanted to run Poke, they would have picked Coliseo. Esperanza is kind of in the middle. Esperanza is kind of open to a few different styles that we've seen since it's been introduced. But with New Queen Street coming up and we're headed to Toronto, I'm anticipating we're going to get, same verse. Second verse, same as the first.
And hey, I'm fine with that. That was just some electric gameplay coming
It's a
out
lot
from
of fun
the.
to watch.
It's just electric, plays coming out from both of the two teams here, and all on the line, taking it to Toronto. Egg House.
Cute little egg. Is the heart its nose or its mouth?
I think it's normally. I feel like don't see noses being drawn as much onto like mascots. No, yeah, eggs too. But like mascots, you don't really see noses normally, right?
Okay.
Am I?
No, I mean, we'll go with that. I mean, unless it's like
A person, like.
I was thinking, or something with like a prominent nose, like
Yeah.
a bear, you know, so that's
Yeah.
a big,
Yeah.
part of the animal. All right. Indeed. Only change I'm noticing here is Sasha. Sasha is coming out on the Soldier this time around. So Whiteboy Primal are not going to have that teleporter to move Gucci and Crow around the map. They're just going to bunker down in one spot and pray that they can fend off Grillmasters.
Well, they definitely need to, as, well, again, this is still finals point. We're still going to keep upping on it until you remember that, okay, Exodial? Question mark? Off the side of the map?
It's a boop.
So,
Yeah.
okay, Ice Dome goes off, but takes Crow with them. The double boop coming in. But Whiteboy Primal are able to come out on top.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do still have the glitch where the boops don't always show up as they should in the kill feed. But indeed, that was Captain Prash getting the job done. And the extra damage as opposed to mobility worked for Whiteboy Primal on that one. Now that they've gotten this cart moving a little bit, will the same strategy work again?
Well, they're going to just go right on to Lippy and Gucci there. And, well, they take out those two early on in this fight. And now Grillmasters have everything they need to, well, take the bot back into their favor.
I mean, it was back and forth. A couple of good kills coming in from Sasha late, which means Grillmasters aren't able to push up as much as they like. Ice Dome is getting a little aggressive up there. Yeah, okay. It does pull back. Things a little bit better at that. So, Grillmasters winning this fight right back. And the high mobility, it works a little bit better as the battlefield adapts and changes. With this bot moving through the map, the Symmetric Teleporter can adapt with it.
Yeah, it really can. Using that teleporter just to get people back, though, for the moment. And now, still the shout coming in. The teleporter comes through, but they're meeting in with the Amp Matrix as Gucci's found Straybor out. And that it is Whiteboy Primal coming out on top.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Put the teleporter in directly on top of your opponent's Ant Matrix and put one up of your own in the exact same spot. Tried to get them directly on top of each other, pixel for pixel. Yoham didn't quite get that done, and unfortunately for Grillmasters, that strat did not work at all. Whiteboy Primal were ready for it. Gucci guns at the ready and hit Grillmasters the moment they appear through. But now, Whiteboy Primal have to deal with this rampage. Ice Gnome has been prolific, devastating with these rampages all day long.
They have indeed, and the rampage comes in.
That's fine.
Again, and it finds all 5 Bull Skunk, and that's just going to be what they need. They do take the upper hand in the percent or the distance, but again, it's still so early. Things can change on a dime.
Ice Gnome does it again with
Yeah,
those
it's
rampages.
crazy.
Just enormous. But still, neither team has been able to put together back-to-back fights. This is what we've been looking for, as we talked about before the net. Neither team's been able to do it. Neither team has close spawns just yet. This lead could continue to go back and forth until that happens. Dueling. I can't say I've ever seen that before.
They just did it right on top of him. Yoham had to use the Immortality Field to save Zodiel for the time being. His will's so low. Find the pick anyway. No, they can't. The Rampage is there. It does find Yoham out, but Will's still alive, finding these picks for Grillmasters, getting positioning as it's still anyone's point at the moment, but who's gonna come out on top? It's Gucci yet again for Whiteboy Primal, with the Amp Matrix being invested a little bit late, but it still helps them capture and hold on.
And we continue with our back and forth and, you know, mere 3.5 meters roughly there, so separating our two teams. Straber booped Gucci back and I think knocked him out of the range of Will on that one. Kind of helped Gucci out a little bit. Gucci's able to hold, but early death to Lippy, and it looks like the back and forth will continue as TS1 is just getting whiplash here, Joker.
I think that's huge because Lippy was the only one. Lippy was the only one pushing that, and now they got a chance to get this. They are going to get these forward spawns with everything going the way of Grillmasters.
They might. It's close. Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be a Lippy to come hold this, right? And with the teleporter up in the window, there's no chance. Yeah, this is going to be butt scratch mode, and Grillmasters unlocking close spawns. I mean, they just kind of inch it forward. But still, neither team has been able to put together consecutive fight wins. Ant Matrix up here from Grillmasters. They've got a really strong position now, though. Yeah, here it is.
And they are just going to find Gucci and Sacha, who's made the swap over to the Soldier 76, and it's just going to be this fight win yet again. Reset coming in from Whiteboy Primal.
And finally, we're able to get a team stringing back-to-back fight wins together. Yeah, late pick on the Crow is just going to exacerbate this distance and the problem for Whiteboy Primal. Not a whole lot to work with. I mean, it's going to be tit for tat here. It's going to be pretty even. Grillmasters actually have a bit of an advantage as far as the macro economy is concerned.
And there comes the artillery strike and the rampage yet again. They've got the sound barrier in response, but it just can only do so much. But in the meanwhile, like, Sacha's just taken the bot for a little journey into the back. And I've seen this once before, but I did not get as much of a progress as they would have hoped for.
No, Will is able to use that teleporter and put the whole team back there, and Sacha not able to escape. It was a clever move, honestly, and it bought a lot of time. Very smart, and it bought an extra fight here for Whiteboy Primal to try to get set up to see if they can get control of this thing back. Grillmasters have a firm hold on this bot right now.
Exodio looking to clean house with their artillery strikes, take down a Lippy. They only find the immortality field, and Exodio goes down. That's huge now for Whiteboy Primal getting back into the thick of things as they use this Ant Matrix from both of the Baptistes, but in the end, Whiteboy Primal are able to come back and get the fight win.
And a much needed fight win at that. I think it would pretty much have been done and dusted if Whiteboy Primal had dropped that final fight. I think that would have been 3 in a row, and it would have just made, I mean, once she had 100 meters, it becomes a lot. Like, that mountain is real hard to climb. So, vital fight win. And now, Crow with the Rampage. This needs to be massive. Crow's Rampages have been a little hit or miss today. This one needs to be on point. Doesn't have to hit everybody, just secure 1 or 2 kills.
Now they've just got to get something here, but they've already lost Sacha. This is not good at all as Ice Gnome comes back, finds 2, holds on for Grillmasters. They're not allowing them to get those forward spawns in their favor.
Didn't cost Grillmasters anything. I mean, just winning that in the neutral. Early pick on Sacha. Didn't see how that one happened. Wish I had. Because that was disastrous. What was a great play from Saucer earlier ends up being first death in a pretty important fight there. Grillmasters coming up on a rampage. Ice Gnome, my goodness, you better watch out.
Sacha's in the back, but they're already caught out as Ice Gnome's just going to be the one looking to capture them out. The Dragon Blade comes in from Gucci, trying to do something, change anything. They find Exodio out, but is that enough to turn the fight? Yeah, they find Will now. That should be the fight won, but they're still getting capture percentage, and they have to use the Rampage. This is not good at all for the remaining fights coming in for Whiteboy Primal. Down to 1:50. They get the fight win, but do they have enough to keep things going?
Yeah, I mean, you're almost happy if you're Grillmasters about that. And Crow gets a couple with it, secures kills. I mean, that was what I asked for, but it has to be used at the end of a fight to clean up when you had already gotten a few kills. Teleporter up top here, patient Grillmasters are going to greet Whiteboy Primal right here in the middle.
Well, there comes the Photon Barrier out and the Rampage in response from Ice Gnome, getting the supports a little bit less a little lackluster in comparison to the other ones as Ice Dome goes down. Yoam's found 2 though, and there's still an opportunity for Grillmasters to come in with everyone so low on the side of Whiteboy Primal here, as the bot's still in the favor of Grillmasters.
Whiteboy Primal got the kills, but they lost their support. The sound barrier from Crashy was perfect to deny Ice Gnome on the rampage, but Whiteboy Primal cannot get topped up, and as good as it went, it's still Grillmasters in control, and with that big jagged knife, Gucci is in trouble. Artillery strike for Grillmasters.
So he almost went down very early, but Sacha's gone down out of this fight. And that's that. 30 seconds to go. It's almost impossible now for Whiteboy Primal to win this out.
This is going to be one heck of a comeback if they can pull this one around. What do you got? Whiteboy Primal, you got an artillery strike. You got some DPS zones coming up. I mean, Gucci was able to get some work done the first time around. I mean, this is going to be a bare blade, nothing to accompany it.
And they're just gonna back off. They have all the time in the world, and that's the perfect way. They are gonna let them come to them, and there's the teleporter coming in. The Dragon Blade comes through. Sound barrier from Strobor is there, but no one's on the. Oh no, a C9 in the CGL Stage 1 playoffs for Grillmasters to take the series. That's not what you want to see at all. But Grillmasters, in the end, are your champions.
Yeah, Grillmasters will take your mid-season tournament and get that extra match point, moving to, technically, I guess 5-0 on the season now. Before we even enter week 5. So congrats to Grillmasters. A little bit of a fumble there at the very end, but I mean, Whiteboy Primal, they would have had to do a lot of things downright perfect to bring that map back. So I'm not sure that one was going in their favor either way. Obviously you hate to see it end like that, I guess traditionally from an Overwatch standpoint, but it was Grillmasters firmly in control. Whew. What a performance! And Grillmasters stayed flawless. They beat Whiteboy Primal week 1. They beat him here again in the mid-season tournament and stand alone on top of the mountain in the EU PC Open tier.
Yeah, and obviously setting themselves up to be the team to beat. They were already the team to beat, but they've just certified that position after taking a 3-1 over Whiteboy Primal. That's actually my first time this Stage 1 playoff seeing more than 3 maps, so I do like to see that there. But other than that, I mean, not much more to say, Bullskunk.
No, I mean, it was a damn good game. I had a blast. It was good casting with the Joker. I was on this side. Like I'm usually on the left side of the screen. I was on the right side of the screen today. It's a little bit of a new position for me. I apologize for a little bit of flubbery, but hey, we had a good time. It was a great match. Couldn't ask for much more than that.
Definitely not. So everyone, thank you all for watching. Huge shout out to the production staff. This has been me, Junkers Ransom, and him, Bullskunk. Thank you all for watching, and for wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day.